have to play with, that'll just give them more options of whether they keep it narrow to just projecting on that bump out wall, or if they put, text or something like that off the wall and put their main video content on the wall, or whatever it is. I think that's kind of more of along the lines of what they're thinking of.
As far as the projectors go, I have them represented just slightly above their minimum lens offset value. So what you're really looking for is lens offset of more like around 130%. Instead of 116.67% as I have represented.
Okay.
You're looking for higher, which isn't going to get you much, by the way, but it'll get the projectors a little bit higher, maybe 3 or 4 inches or whatever. And then with the rigging cage, Colin, maybe you can chime in. Realistically, how far off that back wall? Or not the back wall, but the wall where the projector is closest to. How far off are we looking at? 6 inches? I can represent that.
Yeah, I would say well, it depends on they use rigging clamps or however they secure the rigging frame to the wall. Whatever that ends up being, I would say probably we're dealing with 9 feet, so I think if you lose 6 or 7 inches, it's not gonna be detrimental overall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not going to make that much of a difference, and beyond, given the area that you're trying to project onto, you're probably going to end up with very large images. I mean, originally we put these there to be on task there. Probably have more image available than you need.
Yeah, it's probably it's a little bit more of an impact because of the bump out, because you lose some throw distance there with the bump out. But I still think, just looking at it, it's gonna be you're gonna get more tight.
Well, we don't produce design build. We just tell you what the throw distance is going to be and what the offset is going to be. The design.
That's fine. Yeah, we can put it into our drawings and get it to where it needs to be. I'm just more so looking for making sure that the height works out okay with kind of what we're speaking with, and knowing the distance that we should ideally mount those projectors apart from each other, so that way I can get a 20% blend across it and stuff. That kind of information.
So
I don't
necessarily
represent.
All right. Okay. So all right.
We can put everything else together. We just need to know. I'm just mainly looking for the verification.
I'll tell you what, this is Jason, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So Jason, what I'll do is I will place the frame, and I'll provide you with some more details on. I'll provide you with more details regarding dimensions pertaining to distances for the framework and all that stuff.
Okay.
I'll put the frame 6 inches off the wall. Now, how you get that there is up to you, and if it goes an inch or two front and back, I guess you can recover from that. And then I'll provide you with some more throw distance, if you will. I'll provide you some more dimensions regarding, like where the projectors are spaced and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that would be perfect, because what I can do is I can then take that, we'll get that all figured out in terms of the mounting, and we'll get our drawings drafted up, and then I might just send them over to you just to have you look at them to make sure it looks like it matches along with what you, what the information you provided.
No worries. Okay, so basically, just as fundamental, I'm going to keep the bump out there.
Yes.
For the north wall.
Mm-hmm.
The other wall, I'm going to assume that there's still no bump out. That's why I sent you both the old drawing and the revised drawing.
Correct.
So what I'll do is I will basically revise those 2 drawings based on. I don't want to go maximum because I don't want to paint myself in a corner. But I'll put it at 130% offset. Okay.
Okay.
Put it at the 130%, maybe 128 because I may run into problems. But I'll put it around that offset, and I'll put it 6 inches off the wall.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah.
Rigging frame included.
Yes, exactly.
And okay, so then we can wrap that one up. Now the rotunda is a whole different story.
Correct. Yeah, this one there's a lot of a lot of back and forth from a lot of people on this one.
And those drawings, those are actual drafting drawings.
Yep, those were the hand drawn.
Yeah. So, I'm formally trained in that, so I was like, oh my God, these are the actual hand drawn drafted drawings. So, but the problem is that these are now PDF'd, and so I don't know if the measurements I'm trying to bring to scale will represent what's truly happening.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems that we've been kind of dealing with too. We tried to get there was a Revit file of the entire space, but unfortunately, yeah, well, no, it was fine. We have everything there except everything for the dome is not documented as the way it actually is. It's just basically a flat, somebody just made a dome shape and threw it in there. There's no actual, elements of what it is. So basically, all the details that we need, there's no details for it. It's just
one of the things that I kind of ran into is I'm gonna presume that like the drawing that we're on right now, or the one that we're on, the drawing that you're on right now, that where you have highlighted in yellow is the actual surface.
Correct.
Okay, my concern is that, and this is what I was trying to verbalize, because to Colin's point, it's the inverse square law. Originally when you did the proof of like, hey, this looks great at 10,000 lumens or whatever, it was a 2 by 11 section or 2 by 5 section or something like that, and then, but it was shifted down a little bit or whatever, and captured some of the below the spring line. The spring line is the base of the dome, and so you captured below the spring line, and so you can put text there, and so that's fine. And actually, that lends itself, okay, yeah. And Colin actually provided me with these drawings as well. But now the customer wants to fill up another section above that while still maintaining, yes, where your mouse is.
Yeah.
He wants to fill those as well, and then of course still run down where it says, aye, Ron likes chocolate. Still all the way go down to there.
Right.
Now you've just almost quadrupled the size, so 10,000 lumens looks like 2,000 lumens by the time, maybe 3,000 lumens by the time you spread all that light out.
Sure.
And that's what the inverse square line is all about.
Right.
So, and where you just drew that line, like we'd like to fill this and that's more like a square, that's a 1-to-1. So we're dealing with 16 by 10 aspect ratio projectors. So you could move that blue line, with the bracketed looking blue line, probably 2 more squares over.
In terms of left to right?
Yeah, or, well, at least 1 over. It's kind of hard to tell from a photo. But that's my whole point. So that's where I'm looking at going, okay, I'm to position this, and then using drawings that were the hand-drawn drawings, which are very nice. Someone knew what they were doing there.
Yeah.
At any rate, back in the day. But with the hand-drawn drawings, it is a little bit difficult to kind of bring this to scale and figure it out. So
that's the problem we've been running into. I've been trying to find any type of CADs or, even just that somebody actually drew out into into CAD or into a 2D or something like that to have, but, apparently there's not much of anything.
There it is. Oh, I think you were just there. I think you were just there on that last one. I saw some of the blue notes that were inserted. If you're looking for, maybe not.
I think it's the next one here.
Okay, I thought I saw it. There it is.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what they're envisioning. They want to do, 11 segments and, go down that, basically covering that space there. Like we were telling them, kind of explaining to them that, like, I don't know whether it's going to be possible to do with just the 4 projectors that they're looking to use, or, you know, because another issue that we just got information on is that they're going to be hanging these chandelier lights. Basically, you can kind of see them in the picture, these drops here, which almost come down directly above, like right where that text is going to be. And I think I have, where is it here? So yeah, I've got some pictures here of like what these chandeliers that, you know, we let them know that there's a big concern of those interfering with the light paths that, you know, that they're trying to achieve of, you know, hitting that lower section. Now, whether we are able to, you know, place the projectors in a way that they don't hit those, but I mean, I don't, you know, they're talking of possibly lowering them so that they're below that, but it's still going to be, you know, two issues with that, because then you have the actual cord coming down that's going to be interjecting with the light path, so there's going to be some sort of, you know, interference with that, and then they're not sure that they can actually even move them down.
Hey Jason, but correct me if I'm wrong. It's Ryan. We're not tasked to figure that out right now. We're tasked to figure out how many projectors we need and where we need to place them.
Yeah, I mean that's ultimately what we need. But you know, we also have to figure out, you know, can this be done with what the client's looking for, or do we have to say?
Here's my concern. My concern is the depth of field and the area of coverage for the F90. And not just the F90, but depth of field. You know, the way this dome is shaped, I mean, you try, and also because you try to fill those cells, right? But there's these ribs, you know, are coming down,
right?
You know, and so they're cast shadows, which you probably saw when you were on site.
Correct. Yeah.
But it's going to be worse on that top row. So if you're trying to fill that, and you're doing it, where are the projectors? I still haven't quite figured it out. From my understanding, the projectors were, hold on, go back to that picture, please.
Mm-hmm.
From my understanding, the projectors, that where all the text is, that's kind of a lip, and there's like a gap in between there, and then the dome starts.
Correct.
That the projectors are going to be placed on the opposite side, obviously, but somewhere where we deem, you know, a perpendicular to wherever the dome is.
You could picture where the R is in the Ron. There's that flat lip right above that R. Just above that, they cut a hole in. Yeah, right in that zip code.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm picturing.
Right.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So. That's it. Yes, exactly. And that's what I got from the previous set of drawings that you guys had sent before. So with that, you also have your angle of attack for the image, hence depth of field. I mean, I was kind of hoping there would be a way that we could put the projectors where those alcoves are, you know, where the rotunda goes down and the arches are below, because that would produce a better quality result. But I know that's not possible, so I'll be sorry to go there. But that would be more optimal. So my concern is by adding those extra cells, and I know it seems simple, but that adds a lot of requirement for light output. So you did a 2x5 before with 2 projectors comfortably with what, I don't know what the blend zone was, but I'm assuming it was around 12.5%, 20%.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was.
Yeah, so whatever it was. But now you just like went up a whole like third, and so that means you got to expand outward. And so just based on that, my brain is going, well, you need 3 projectors, and if they're F90s, they're not